Hey guys, it is Monday afternoon. It is almost 3 o'clock. I got 2 hours to get home before the governor's gonna get me. So we're gonna try and do some math. Here we go. Yeah. You're going to need your math book open to page 437. And you're gonna need your math workbook. So pause the video and go get those things, please. Okay, don't worry about the steps over here. We're just going to go straight into number one. Whenever we're dealing with math, you know that Mrs. Crocker likes for you to use numbers whenever you can, because it is math. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at this first problem. We're going to act it out. So this is for all us dramatics. This will be awesome. Let me see how this looks. Yes, it looks great. Okay. You're going to need a sheet of notebook paper. So if you need notebook paper, pause the video and go get some. All right, here we go. There's a pattern. There's a pattern in the number of squares used to make each set of steps shown to the right. How many squares are used to make 6 steps? So what we're going to do is we're going to take what we know and we're going to figure out what we're not sure of or what we don't know. So, on your sheet of notebook paper, here we go. I folded mine in half. You don't have to. It's just to give me some more room. We know that we have steps. How many steps? Well, we'll look back and we'll see that we have 1, leave some space, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steps. Excellent. We also know that we have blocks. How many blocks? Well, for step 1, we have 1 block. For step 2, we have 3 blocks. For step 3, we have 6 blocks. So, what am I doing to 1 block in order to get 3? Well, obviously I'm increasing. So, Collins, I'm either adding or multiplying. What am I doing from 3 to get 6? Well, I'm either adding or I'm multiplying because I'm increasing. So what could I add to 1 in order to get 3? Well, that would be add 2. What could I multiply to 1 in order to get 3? Well, that would be multiply by 3. Okay, right here. Step 2 gave me 3 blocks. What am I going to do? What can I add to 3 in order to get 6? Well, I could add 3. What could I multiply to 3 in order to get 6? I could multiply 2. So I do see a pattern here. With multiplication, I am adding 1 more number each time to get my next step. I also see a pattern in multiplication. I'm multiplying 1 fewer number to the number of steps in order to get how many steps in all. So I want you to pause it right now. And I want you to continue this pattern and see which one will take you to step 6. So pause and work on the problem. Okay. Now, if I follow my addition pattern, I've added 2, I've added 3, now to 6, I will add 4, and it will give me 6 plus 4 is a total of 10. Add 2, add 3, add 4, add 5. 10 plus 5 gives me 15. Okay? Add 2, add 3, add 4, add 5 to 15, add 6, and it gets me to 21 steps. Now, I'm not sure if that's my answer or not. I need to follow out my multiplication pattern. So, 1 times 3 was 3. 3 times 2 was 6. 6, we're decreasing. So it would be 6 times 1 is 6. It's not 10. So my pattern is I add one more block to, I'm sorry, not one more block. I add one more to the add-in each time. And how many squares will I need to make 6 steps? There's my answer, 21. Awesome. Okay, turn the page. We're going to work out the next one together, but I'm going to try and trick you on this one. I just wanted to show you how we were going to solve these problems. All right, here we go. Once again, you know what I'm going to want to turn these pictures, these cans into. I'm going to want to turn them into numbers. So it says the picture at the right shows how Brian, we'll say David, how David saw paint cans stacked at the paint store. How many cans would be in a stack with 5 rows? Okay, so use what we know. We know we have our rows. How many rows? We have 5. So 1, 2, skip some space, James, so you have plenty of time to work out your problem. Anderson, if you need to pause, you please do that. Okay, the next thing that I know my number of rows, and I also know my number of cans. So here we go, Gracie Lou. In row 1, I have 1 can. When I have 2 rows of paint cans. Oh, I don't like how they change the colors. But when I have 2 rows, how many cans do I have? I have 4. When I have 3 rows, how many cans do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9. Once again, Lena, you know that you're increasing, so your pattern is either adding or multiplying. So you're going to add or multiply to 1, you would add 3 to get 4. If you're multiplying 1, you would multiply 4 to get 4. So let's see where that pattern takes us here. We have 4 cans with 2 rows. So 4 plus what gets me to 9? That would be 5. 4 times what gives me 9? 9's not a multiple of 4. So we know that we are adding. We are adding to get the number of cans with 4 rows and 5 rows. So pause the video now and figure out what you're adding by. Okay, so did you get, for an answer, did you get 20, 25, or 30? I wonder what you got, Aiden. Well, hopefully you got 25. 1 plus 3 is 4. 4 plus 5 is 9. 9 plus, guys, you're increasing by 2. So 9 plus 7 is 16. Increase by 2. 9. 16 plus 9 equals 25. Look for those patterns, guys. All right, let's try a walk on the beach. Okay, solve each problem. Now, guys, y'all know whenever you have this little box over here, you got to read it. So Ryan and his father went for a walk on the beach. Ryan took 4 short steps for every 2 long steps his father took. All right, so we got us a little pattern. Got us a little pattern here. Let's figure out what we know. We know Ryan, and we know his dad. Okay? Ryan and his dad. You know what? I want to set it up different. I want dad on top. and Ryan. So if you need to pause it to change that, you can. I change my mind all the time. Okay, so Dad takes 2 steps. Ryan takes, use what you know. Dad takes 2 steps. Ryan takes 4 steps. 4 steps. So, here we go. Number 3. When Ryan had taken 8 steps, how many steps has his father taken? Well, we got to use what we know. Let's do Ryan. 8 steps. So, 4. And what we're going to do here is with Ryan, every time we're going to be adding 4 more. So 4 plus 4 is 8. Well, with Dad, we're going to be adding 2 more. So if Ryan takes 4 steps, Dad takes 2. If Ryan takes 8 steps, Dad takes 4. Sweet. So now let's look at number 4. When Ryan had taken 20 steps, how many had his father taken? Guys, we know with Ryan, we're dealing with multiples of 4. So we need to skip count by 4s, multiplication facts, until we get to 20. So 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. All right, so now what we're going to do, Delaney, is with Dad, we're dealing with multiples of 2. Even though I have add 2, you're going to add 2 repeatedly, so that's just multiplication. So Dad, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And you can also see the pattern that Dad takes half the steps that Ryan does. Now, number 5. Ryan wants to take the same number of steps as his father and cover the same distance. Should Ryan's steps be twice as long as they are now, or half as long? So does Ryan do his steps need to be twice as long or half as long? Wow, that's confusing. Okay. Well, what it is if you divide, you know what? His steps should be twice as long. Obviously, you're not going to shorten his short steps by dividing them in half. But Ryan's steps definitely would be twice as long because his steps need to be longer, so he is taking fewer steps. That one was even confusing for me. I had to reread that one again, which we always do. All right, here's the stacking dolls. The Diaz family took part in an international doll fair. Dolls from many different countries were displayed. 2 sets of Russian stacking dolls on display. Each have 5 dolls that stack together. The other 3 sets each have 7 dolls. How many dolls are in all 5 sets? Guys, we're going to turn these words and these stacking dolls into numbers. So you have 2 sets, okay? So you have set 1 and set 2. How many are in each set? 5 dolls. 5. 10. You got it? Okay, now we have the other 3 sets. 1, 2, 3, but we're dealing with a different multiple here. The other 3 sets each, there's that word each where you know you multiply, have 7 dolls. So 7, 7, and 7. So here you go, guys. Is your answer 21, 28, or 31? What's your answer? Pause it if you need to. Your answer is 31. You're adding 10 plus 3 times 7 is 21. You're getting 31. There's where I tried to trick you a little bit. All right. Mrs. Diaz placed dolls from 4 countries on a table. Oh my goodness. What we got here? The dolls were from Guatemala. That is in South America. Oh my goodness, she put the dolls from Guatemala. They were behind all the other dolls. The dolls from Russia were behind the dolls from Portugal. And in front of the dolls from Thailand, which dolls were displayed in front? Okay, guys, so we're dealing with 4 different countries, okay? So you're going to have, you've got Guatemala will be a G. Portugal will be a P. Russia, an R, and Thailand, a T. So right here we'll write front, okay? And then here we will write behind, or this would be the back of the line. Line leader and the caboose. So you need to reread those facts, and I'm going to pause or you need to pause the video to reread those facts and try to put them in the correct order. All right, the dolls from Guatemala were behind all of the other dolls. So they're not going to be in front, guys. They're going to be behind. The dolls from Russia were behind the dolls from Portugal. Well, Portugal can't go here because the only thing behind it is Guatemala. So the dolls from Russia were behind the dolls from Portugal and in front of the dolls from Thailand. So Russia is in the middle. Russia is behind Portugal, but in front of Thailand. I hope y'all got that answer. I'm sure you did. All right, let's look over here. This is a mixed review, so we're not going to do this right now. Now you're going to need Math Workbook, page 99. All right, here we go. Math Workbook, page 99. Looking down at the bottom, I'm going to give you some answers, and you're going to pause it and have some time to work this out. When the wall has been built up to the 5th layer, guys, turn that 5th into a 5. How many cylinder-shaped blocks will have been used? Cylinders, guys. Identify your cylinder, 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 and another cylinder. These are squares. They're actually cubes. But I don't want to call them a cube because it might confuse us. Well, no, they're cubes, but we're not going to label them because then we'd have a bunch of C's. So once again, just an organized list. You're going to have 5 layers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In your first layer, how many cylinders did you use? 1. In your second layer, how many cylinders have you used? Well, you used 2, but you added to the one that was in the bottom, so we have 3. So what we did was we added 2. There's our pattern. Now in this third layer, we add 1 more to get 4 cylinders total. So continue this pattern, plus 2, plus 1, plus 2, plus 1. And you're going to tell me if your answer is going to be 5, 6, 7, or 8. Go ahead and pause the video and do that. Okay, so you've worked it out. Plus 2, plus 1, plus 2, 6, plus 1, 7. There's the total number of cylinders used. All right, turn your page, and it's fine if you tear it out like I did. All right, Kate built 3 houses below with her building blocks. How many blocks did she use for each house? Guys, remember, if you're upstairs, that doesn't mean that the downstairs disappears. Remember, we've talked about that with place value. Just because someone's not in your house doesn't mean that your house does not exist. So, just because you may not be able to see what's under a cube, you do not have to see downstairs when you're upstairs to know that it's there because it's holding you up. So I think the only one that's going to give us any problem is going to be number 3. I think it's very obvious that number 1 is 6 blocks. Number 7 is 9 blocks. Number 3, I want you right now, if you need to pause the video, you can, but I want you to tell me if there are 10 blocks, 11 blocks, or 12 blocks. So go ahead and pause the video and work this problem out. All right, so of what I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the answer is 10. No, it's not. Because what's holding these 2 back blocks up? They're the second story. There's 2 blocks on the bottom that have to be holding them up. So the answer is 12. Jamie and Peter were playing a rhyming game. Every time Jamie claps his hands, Peter stomps his feet twice. So I guess it would be like that. So after Jamie has clapped his hands 8 times. So here we go. We have Jamie up top. We'll have Peter on the bottom, okay? So we know that Jamie has clapped his hands 8 times, but we're not counting by ones, all right? With Jamie, every time Jamie claps his hands, we are counting by ones. So we got Jamie, 1 clap, 2 clap, leave some space, 3 clap, 4 clap, 5 clap, 6 claps, 7 claps, 8 claps. For every 1 that Jamie does, Peter stomps his feet twice. He does it twice. So, you're not counting by ones for Peter. You're counting by 2s. So pause the video. Go ahead and fill in Peter's stomps. Now we're going to check our answers. For Peter, he starts with 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. It would be 16 stomps. If Peter stomps his feet 12 times, look guys, we've already done the work. 12 times. How many times has Jamie clapped his hands? How many? 6. Very good. If pencils were sold 4 to a pack, so guys, each pack has 4, each times 4. How many would be in 6 packs? Is my answer 18, 10, or 24? Pause the video, work it out. Of course, your answer is 24 because you have 4 in each pack times 6 packs. That gives us 24. Decision making. You're going to buy twice. We're not adding by 2 when we're doubling or twice as many. We're multiplying by 2. So you have twice as many pencils as someone who has 8 pencils. How many packs? Ooh, this one's good. We're going back up here. How many packs of pencils did you buy? So I'm going to give you some answer choices, and then I'm going to want you to pause this video and try to work the choices out. So you are going to have, let's see, we'll do 4. Are you going to have 4 packs? Are you going to have 3 packs? Are you going to have 2 packs? Are you going to have 16 packs of pencils? Go ahead, pause the video and work this one out for me. Okay, so you buy twice as many as 8, Okay, so someone has 8 pencils, you buy twice as many, you have 16 pencils. Woohoo! But that's not the answer. Tried to trick you. How many packs? So you're going to take those 16 pencils and you're going to divide them evenly into 4 equal packs. Hope I didn't trick you. All right, guys, that was Act It Out. And speaking of out, I'm out. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow.